first record did really well without people knowing that it had done well. I think if you told people how many copies of the first album I'd sold, they'd be surprised, because I think that it was such a slow, steady thing over the course of 2-3 years. I went from selling, 3,000 albums in Ireland in 1 year to the following year selling another 100,000 copies. No one ever told me how well it had done, so I never really thought about it. And it was a real blessing in disguise, because I think if I had, I think I would have been a bit more freaked out by the process. I don't have $1 million to spend on an album, but like I definitely was able to push into exactly where I want to be as a musician a lot more. And now that it's done, I feel like a completely different musician. Like I feel like the first album was like born out of circumstance, and the second album was, or necessity, I think. And the second album was sort of me kind of understanding that I might have a career in this, and that people might care about what I do, and wanting to push out a little bit further and see what was possible. And then with the third record, I just want to make something big. Someone comes to me and tells me my album's been streamed 100,000 times a week on Spotify. It sounds brilliant, but I don't know what the benchmark is, so I don't know whether that's good or bad. But if I go to a room and there's people in it, then I know that things are going well. I can come to Paris, and having done next to nothing in France, I've not played a lot of shows here. I do some press, but not a huge amount. I don't think I exist at radio here, and we can come and play La Cigale, which is one of my favourite venues. And I remember opening for Agnes Obel here 3-4 years ago and thinking it would be a cool place to play. And that's great. Obviously we go to the US or we go to Australia, and back in the UK and Ireland, or even in the Netherlands, there's a lot of countries where I can go and play in front of 2,000-3,000 people, and that's amazing too. But it feels the same to me. It feels the same. Like everything feels like, in a healthy way, a competition to me. Music is I'm here to win people over. So if there's, I don't know how many this holds, 1,200 people. If there's 900 people here that are super into me, and there's 300 people that are on the fence, my job is to win the 300 people, but also maintain the 900. And maybe they'll go and they'll speak to people and they'll come back the next time. That's how it's always worked for me. So I hope that's the case tonight.